Hi, this is Whitney Robinson with Pickerington Local Schools. I wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you a little bit about some features in Google Forms that you may not be practicing with right now. And one of those features is creating new sections. That's this button over here. It's just two little lines, and unless you hover over it and see the Add Section text, you may not know what that's for. What I have here is an example of a weekly grade check form that a team of teachers at the junior high level uses for students to check in during their intervention and enrichment period. So we have some basic student information here. And what's really important is we get down and we have these multiple sections because we have students checking their grades and talking about any missed homework or anything else in separate sections. So for instance, we have their basic information up here. This email piece is pretty important because we use Form Publisher to make sure that the correct teacher gets notified when students fill out the form, but that's a different video. This is the basic information about the student, and then we go on to each different content area. So here they would fill out for their math grade, and then they would mark whether or not they had missing work for math. When I click on this particular piece, you'll notice that I have used this Go to Section Based on Answer option to say that if they chose yes, they do have missing math work, they're going to go to Section 8. If they choose no, they don't have missing math work, then they just continue on to the next section, which happens to be their English grade. Now let's look at Section 8. If they chose yes, they have missing work, it takes them to this section and it has one single response, and that's just to list what their missing work is. And again, they've had that for every single content area. Now what's really cool is if they get directed to this missing work piece, then it takes them right back to the next section, which is Section 3. So they fill out for math, then English. From English to social studies, etc., etc. And this is just a drop down. You can choose which section it goes to once you create them. And we also have this form if the students need to have a conversation with teachers. So if they choose up at the top that they needed to have a conversation with the teacher, they're directed to this so that they can give the answer of what type of conversation they need to have. And then again, it will direct them back up to that math grade, and they'll fill out their grade for each content area. What I want you to get from this is that you can have a form that redirects students to particular sections, and it doesn't have to be students, it could be any type of respondent. It's kind of a choose your own adventure. So based on a particular answer given in a multiple choice context, you can direct anybody to another section of a form, and when they're done with that section, you can direct them to another section or to the end of the form. So that's one really overlooked feature that I think as you get more and more into using Google Forms, you may want to add. Let's see what it looks like live. Here we would select a date. Not worried about identifying a teacher. So here, if I selected yes, I need to have a conversation with the teacher about something, it actually takes me back to put in this. If I go back here and I were to select no, it would actually send me to the math missing work. So here I could select my math grade. I could choose whether I had missing work. I'll say no here. Then it takes me to English. Here I would choose yes, I have missing work. I could put in what that missing work is. And so on and so forth throughout the rest of the form. So really that's just what I wanted to get across to you, is I would like you to start exploring this Add Section tool and see what sorts of interactive forms, the choose your own adventure form, if you will, you can come up with for your own applications in your own setting. Hope this has been useful, and have a great day.